We're going to continue with treble crochets now. We're going to do a turning chain, turn our work, and then we're going to work into each stitch along. I'm going to show you how to work into your top of your start chain there. So we need to do a chain 3 to get us going. So we're going to yarn over and pull through the loop. So that's 1 chain, yarn over. Again, that's 2 chain, yarn over. Again, that's 3 chains. So now what we can do is turn that work. We're going to start working right to left, but we're going to miss working in this very top of the last treble we made from that previous row, because this chain 3 and that stitch there is going to act as 1 stitch. And if you're following a pattern that says start chain counts as stitch, that's what it means. So now we're going to yarn over. We're going to pop our hook under that V, just like we do with our double crochet, through there. So we've got both of those on the top going over that hook, and we're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull that through. So we've got 3 loops on our hook. Now we're going to yarn over, and we're only going to put it through the first 2. So we've got 2 loops left on our hook, and we're going to yarn over and finish that crochet stitch off by pulling through the last 2 loops on our hook. What you'll see is that start chain and stitches made the first stitch of our row, and that crochet stitch we just worked, that treble there, is the next one along. So we're going to carry on. We're going to yarn over. We're going to pop our hook into that hole there, making sure that that V, that complete stitch is going onto the hook there. Yarn over, and we're going to pull it through. So we've got 3 on our hook. Yarn over and pull it through the first 2. You see I was using my forefinger to just keep hold of that back one there. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to put through the last 2. And that's completed our next treble. And what you'll see, this is making quite a nice, loose, gappy material. So we're going to yarn over and go through the next stitch. Yarn over and put it through there. So we've got our 3, yarn over, put it through the first 2, yarn over, put it through the second 2. So we're going to carry on into the next one, yarn over and put it through that loop. So we've got 3 on our hook, yarn over, put it through 2, we're going to yarn over and put it through 2. What you may have noticed is my yarn is a little splitty. Sometimes you accidentally go through. When your yarn is twisted, it means it's called plied, and sometimes that can split and your hook can get through there. All you've got to do is just pull it back together again and keep going. So we're yarning over, popping it into our next stitch along, yarn over and pull it back. You can see it just split that yarn again there. There we go. So we've got 3 on our hook. We're going to yarn over and put it through the first 2. We're going to yarn over and put it through the next 2. That's completed our next treble. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what we've got left is 1, 2, 3, and our 4th is going to be in the top of that start chain there. So let's carry on, yarn over, find that hole. If you're starting to get confused, you can always have a tug on the last stitch you made. You'll see the last stitch you went through because it's coming out of there, it's pulling it up. So you need to make sure you're going into the next one along, which is this one here. And that's yarning over there, coming through. Yarn over, we're going to go through the first 2. Yarn over, we're going to go through the next 2. So we'll do the last couple of stitches. Go into that next hole there. So in it goes. We're going to yarn over and pull that through. Yarn over through 2. Yarn over through 2. We see how that shape of that hook is really doing its job. It's really pushing through the stitch, grabbing that yarn for us and pulling it through. I didn't yarn over first, I was so busy showing you how effective the crochet hook was. Let's do that again. So we've yarned over, we're going to pop that through that stitch there. Yarn over and pull it through. Yarn over through 2. Yarn over through 2. And now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you see those tool posts, that's what I'm counting as our stitches. We need to do our 10th one. We're going to work into the top of our turning chain. And now I've shown you on previous ways how you work through both of those, chain that top of that chain there to get your stitch. I'm only going to work through the very top one. Just pop our hook through that first top loop of that chain stitch there, yarn over and pull it through, yarn over and through two, yarn over and through two. And it just makes it a little bit easier. And you'll see that's how it's incorporated that very first chain as our first stitch. It's really important to remember to work into that stitch, otherwise you start to drop them. And if you find as you're working upwards, you're losing them, that'll be where it is. You'll be missing out starting in that chain, or when you come back along, you must remember to work into the top of this start chain as well. Otherwise you will start to make a triangle instead of a nice straight edged piece of material.